Hey guys, been a long time since my last video, as most of my videos have a very long interval between all of them. Today's video is mostly going to be about transition paperwork. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a rundown of how I went about it. It may not be the same for you, and it doesn't have to be. This is just my experiences, and hopefully that can help guide you guys roughly into what you might need. And then I'm going to give you guys a brief update on top-up. I'm coming up on 2 years post-op, so just a disclaimer of, going to show my chest later, so any trigger or dysphoria warnings out here right now. Step number 1, and I'm telling you guys to do this as number 1, and I'm going to give you the biggest tip that I can possibly ever give anyone for transition paperwork. When you file for a name and gender change, the court does this and a judge will sign off on it, and then you can request certified copies of this court order. I cannot stress enough, you need as many as you can get. Every single form that you have to fill out from that point on to change things is going to require a certified copy. So do this first. Every place is different in how you acquire that and what forms you need in order to get a judge to sign off on this, but this is the one thing that you have to do first. Step 2 for me was my driver's license, which was so simple. It's just taking in a certified copy of that court order to a local DMV, showing them the paperwork, bringing your previous license. They'll cut that license, they will issue you as though you've never had a license before, and you'll be out the door. That being said, DMV wait times are always awful, so plan ahead. 3 for me was my social security card. This one has like the least amount of helpful information online. Pretty much just mail in your old security card. I included a copy of my medical provider's statement saying that I had undergone treatment, and then for sure a certified copy of your name and gender change. Mail that off and cross your fingers, and hopefully they mail you back a new one, which they did for me. Step 4 was my birth certificate. I again send in a certified copy. Online they do have the specific form you need to request a name or an alteration change at all to your birth certificate, and then you fill out that form and mail in all of that. This one took the longest for them to return the paperwork, but they did indeed give me a certified birth certificate copy. The last step that I took, step number 5, happened today. Gathered all the paperwork that I had, all of my updated ID cards, my birth certificate, my social security card, everything. Again, a certified copy of the court order for my name and gender change, and then filled out a form as though it had never had a passport before. I have had a previous passport, and it was still good, so they recommend that you send that previous passport in with your application if you have had one before. So that's pretty much it. Those are the top 5 things that you need to get done in order to legally, on paper, reflect who you are to the world, federally and statewide and however else. Do it in steps. It's not a race. It doesn't really matter if your ID really shows who you are. I've reached a point in my transition where it's no longer possible for me to use any of my previous identification, so this is a requirement for me, but that's not always the case, and especially for my non-binary folks, it just may be up to you. So take that information how you will, and good luck. Now we're going to jump into the part of the video where I briefly talk about my post-op, show you guys my chest, and we'll call it a day, because this is getting long as it is. So this is what my chest looks like, almost 2 years post-op. You'll notice that I don't have any scarring underneath or anywhere, just on the underside here of both of my areolas, because I had a keyhole surgery, which involves no drains, and it's really only for people who have a very small chest size to begin with. So I was very lucky, and Dr. Raphael in Plano, Texas did an incredible job, and his staff is amazing, and I cannot recommend him any more than I already do. So if that's something you guys are looking into, definitely check him out, as well as some of the other doctors. Dr. Garamone in Florida has been really well known, so give it a shot. It's incredibly freeing and totally worth the results. So leave me some comments down below, positive or negative. I will respond because that's just the person I am. So yeah, hopefully I will see you guys soon.